As most of you know, I had animated CSK's best performances this IPL a few weeks ago. Thank you all for your comments. They mean a lot to me. But among the comments section, I found this person named Glenn Maxwell sarcastically commenting about Kedar Jadhav. And not only from him, Jadhav was made fun of by several people across social media. Not just by people, but also by several great cricketers. But did you know this man's life struggle? If you know, I bet that you would feel sorry if you had made fun of him. Did you know that this man sacrificed something for his team which was back after a 2-year suspension? And this sacrifice was an injury in his leg which would remain with him forever. Yes, I am not joking. He retired hurt midway during a match due to a hamstring. When his team was in a nightmarish situation, he came to bat with the injury and led his team to victory. We all know this. But what we don't know is that, this act of playing with an injury led to him undergoing a surgery in Australia. But, it was not successful. He faces severe pain in his legs while walking even today. Now, people who trolled him, please think of this. If you ever felt guilty, my humble request to you is not to troll him or any other cricketer. You don't have to become a die-hard fan of them. Just respect them as cricketers and human beings. They too are humans and they too have feelings. Please understand that. Back to the topic, we shall be discussing the life of this partnership-breaking bowler and a technical batsman named Kedar Jadhav. And for people thinking that can I become a cricketer after my age of 25, Jadhav is an inspiration for you. And without further ado, let's begin the motivational life story of Kedar Jadhav. Our story begins on 26th of March 1985 in the city of Pune in Maharashtra in a middle-class family where a clerk in Maharashtra State Electricity Board named Mahadev Jadhav and Mandakini Jadhav gave birth to a beautiful boy as their last kid after 3 daughters whom they named Kedar Mahadev Jadhav. Jadhav was a really quiet kid, never intervening in problems and always friendly to everyone. But he was extremely crazy about cricket. He used to play since his age of 3 with a plastic bat. His craze was so much that he used to hug his bat while sleeping. But his parents had the same thought as other middle-class parents. They wanted to get their son educated and get a job. All his sisters were well educated and were scholars in various fields. But studies never worked for Jadhav. But due to parental pressure, he studied hard. But at one point in time, he decided to quit his studies. But his parents were not ready to take this decision. But his sisters tried to convince his parents saying that they would try their best to study and earn decent incomes. But they wanted their parents to let Jadhav pursue his passion. He joined a coaching academy. And being a tennis ball cricketer, his coach understood the fire and aggression in Jadhav's batting. Not many coaches respected tennis ball cricketers, but Jadhav's coach was kind enough to understand him and gave Jadhav intense training. Due to his involvement in the game, he easily grabbed a spot in his district team and slowly in his state team too in 2004. Over the next few years, he played extraordinary innings at the domestic level. However he could not secure a place in the Indian team as there were already good all-rounders who had cemented their position for India. Jadhav grew older with each day passing by. But he was still waiting for at least a few opportunities to play for India. But that day never came. When he thought that his career was over, an opportunity knocked his door. It was the 2010 Indian Premier League auctions where he was picked by Delhi Daredevils. On his debut game, he starred with a 29-ball 50 against the Royal Challengers Bangalore and grabbed the attention of media. He was later shifted to Kochi Tuskers and then back to Delhi Daredevils. He turned 28 and he knew that playing for India was something unlikely to happen and thought that his career was over. This frustration troubled Jadhav for a couple of days. The next day, Jadhav showed all his frustration and anger in one Ranji Trophy match. In that one match he scored a triple century for Maharashtra. To be more precise, he scored 327 runs. And in the Ranji season of 2013-14, Jadhav turned as the leading run scorer of the tournament with more than 1,200 runs including a double century and 6 consecutive centuries. Because of Jadhav, his team never lost a single game that season. This season opened the eyes of the selectors, who finally included him in the 2014 India tour of Bangladesh at his age of 29. Jadhav was really happy and decided to do anything he could for the nation in next few years before he could retire. But his happiness was short-lived. He didn't find a spot in the playing 11 and was still a substitute player. He was selected for the next series against Sri Lanka as well. But again he was kept as a substitute. Yes, the same series where Rohit Sharma scored the highest ODI score ever, which is 264. Back to Jadhav, he was kept as a substitute. But in the fifth and last match of the series, Jadhav finally found a spot in the team in the place of Suresh Raina. But he was dismissed for 20 in his debut match. But he was again omitted for the next series against Australia, the 2015 World Cup, and the series against Bangladesh after that year's IPL. But in the next series against an inexperienced side, namely Zimbabwe, selectors decided to give rest to senior players and give chances to young and new players, among which Jadhav was once. And Jadhav proved his timber in this series with a 87-ball 105. He was also included in the T20 series against Zimbabwe. After this series, Jadhav became part of many matches with a career best of 120 runs of 76 balls in the first ODI against England in his own home ground at Pune. Following this, in the third ODI of the same series, he partnered with Pandya while chasing a tough target where he played a fighting knock of 90 off 75. But all his efforts went in vain as India fell 5 runs short of the target. But after he got out, even the man who is not known to show his emotions, namely Dhoni, gave Jadhav a standing ovation. Because Dhoni knew how hard the role of finisher is. And since he would retire in a few years, Dhoni jumped in excitement that India would have a finisher like Jadhav after he retires. Even in such a difficult position like that, Jadhav maintains a 40+ average in ODIs, which is really a big achievement for lower-order batsmen like him. But all these time, I have been speaking about his batting. But he was also the captain's trump card. At his age of 30, Jadhav realized that he was a short person and could not contribute much in fielding. So, he wanted to contribute to the team with his bowling. But it is not as easy to do as it is to say. Batsmen are not suited to injuries and shoulder pains. And in the absence of them due to injuries, the team would really miss them. For example, even god of cricket Sachin was initially an occasional pacer. But he was injured while bowling once and India lost the series badly in his absence. Still, due to his love for the sport and for his nation, Sachin became a spinner. Wait. I am not comparing Sachin and Jadhav. All I wanted to say was that Jadhav took the same path as his favorite cricketer did. He turned into a net bowler. And his unique bowling action confused one of IPL's best spinners Amit Mishra, and Mishra was bowled out during a net session before a match against New Zealand. But Mishra shouted that Jadhav was chucking and throwing, not bowling. But Mishra's words were heard by Anil Kumble, who replied that Jadhav's bowling action was legal. Kumble advised Jadhav to keep his arm above the shoulder level to keep it legal, but to also bowl as low as possible with control. Indian team physio advised Dhoni and captain Kohli that Jadhav's shoulders were not adapted for bowling, because other bowlers have more than 10-year experience of bowling. But Jadhav had less than 10 games experience. But in one match, 2 batsmen were on fire and had a 100+ run partnership. Kohli tried all 5 bowlers, but none of them could make an impact. Dhoni advised captain Kohli to give the ball to Jadhav. Jadhav, without considering the words of the physio, was ready to even get injured during the process of playing for India and agreed for the same. To everyone's surprise, Jadhav dismissed both batsmen in the same over. Slowly, international batsmen found it hard to slog Jadhav as he lowered the release point of the ball and bowling in line of the stumps while still keeping the batsmen guessing. Jadhav has taken 27 wickets for India. And 80 to 90% of those wickets belong to batsmen who could easily rip off the Indian bowling attack if Jadhav was not there. Only a very small percentage belongs to lower-order batsmen. While all these was happening, he was bought by Royal Challengers Bangalore and later was sold to Chennai Super Kings after a couple of bad performances. And one match which stays close to all CSK fans. Yes, It is the match against defending champions Mumbai Indians at Wankhede after the 2-year suspension. Public trolled the team, nicknaming it Daddy's Army. Still, the team set off to play the game and restricted Mumbai Indians to a total of 167. But 4 wickets went off early in the form of Watson, Roydu and Raina. Here was when Jadhav came to the crease. Soon Dhoni was dismissed and Bravo came to the crease and told Jadhav, "We have to prove today that we are not a daddy's army," and both of them started a small partnership. But Jadhav was injured soon and was retired hurt and thus left the field early, and Bravo's heroics with the bat took the team close to victory. But he was dismissed at a crucial moment when CSK needed 7 runs off 6 balls with only 1 wicket in hand. The last batsman was to be Markwood, and CSK fans were praying for Markwood and Imran Tair to take singles and not lose their wicket. But flashed a bolt from the blue. Jadhav remembered the words of Bravo and the intensity when he said, "We have to prove them that we are not daddy's army," and came to bat with the injury, though he retired hurt. His scoop shot led CSK to a 1-wicket victory, and the day turned out to be a memorable day for CSK fans after almost 1,000 days. But this act of playing with an injury led to him undergoing an unsuccessful surgery in Australia and faces severe pain in his legs while walking even today. This is the incredible sacrifice he made for CSK. But we CSK fans don't understand his sacrifice and troll him without knowing all this.
நடந்துச்சு அப்படின்னா மென்டல் ஹெல்த், யாராவது திடீர்னு ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஒரு சூசைட் அட்டெம்ப்டே பண்ணிட்டாங்க அப்படின்னா மென்டல் ஹெல்த் இஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் அப்படின்னுவாங்க. அதே ஆளுங்க ட்வீட் போடுறாங்க அதுக்கப்புறமா போயிட்டு, இவன் இப்படி போலிங் போட்டான், இவன் இனிமே வரவே கூடாது, நீ ட்விட்டர் பக்கம் வந்து பவர் ஒன்று பிச்சு போடுறான் அப்படின்றாங்க. ஏய், எல்லாம் விளையாடுறாங்க, எல்லாரும் ஒரு ஆபீஸ் போற மாதிரி ஒரு 365 days 24/7 எல்லாருக்குமே நல்ல நாள் இருக்க முடியாது. அதுல கிரிக்கெட்டர்ஸும் சரி, செலிபிரிட்டிஸும் சரி, ஏன் உதாரணத்துக்கு பிரசனாவே எடுத்துக்கங்க, எவ்வளவு நாள் ஸ்டாட் சொல்றேன், எல்லா ஸ்டாட்டும் உங்களுக்கு ஒத்தா போகுது. இன்னைக்கு 4th வீல்ல உட்கார்ந்து இருக்கலாம், ஆனா 3 வாட்டி மொக்க வாங்கல. அந்த மாதிரி ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்காங்க, அவங்களுக்கும் ஒரு அப்பா அம்மா இருக்கு, ஒரு ஃபேமிலி இருக்கு. எவ்வளவு தூரத்துக்கு எடுத்துட்டு போனோம்னு தெரியல, எத்தனையோ விஷயத்துக்கு பெட்டிஷன் சைன் பண்ணலாம், அதெல்லாம் விட்டுறாங்க. ரோடு முக்கல அவ்வளவு பெரிய பள்ளம் இருக்கு, அதை விட்டுறாங்க. அந்த இன்ஃபேக்ட் நிறைய பிளாட்ஃபார்ம்ல ஒருத்தர் படுத்து கிடப்பாரு, அவர் உயிரோட இருக்காரா இல்ல மறைஞ்சு போயிட்டாரான்னு தெரியறதுக்கே 10 நாள் ஆகும். அவர் பாட்டு அப்படியே படுத்து இருப்பாரு. அதுக்கெல்லாம் பெட்டிஷன் போறது இல்ல. குப்பை லாரில இருந்து எல்லாம் தொங்கினே ஓடுது, அதுக்கு போடுறது இல்ல. ஒரு பிளேயர் ஒண்ணுமே இல்ல, இந்த மாதிரி டிஃபிகல்ட் டைம்ஸ்ல, கோவிட் டைம்ஸ்ல போயிட்டு அவரு பணைய வச்சுதானே வந்திருக்காரு இவ்வளவு தூரம் கிளம்பி. அதை யோசிக்காம கொஞ்சம் அதுல ஒரு சென்சிட்டிவிட்டி இருக்கு நான் ஃபீல் பண்ணேன்.
Now into his personal life. Jadhav married domestic cricketer Snehal and is a father to a daughter named Maraya. What we can learn from Jadhav is that age is just a number and a mere 3-letter word. And age matters only for sour cheese, not for sweet honey. With this thought, I would love to end today's video. I will see you all in another video. Till then, goodbye.